Time now for Project 18-8 with Steve Flanders.
Our Project 18-8's transforming from a hay hauler to a hot rod, and our sway bars helped our cause. Now we got this huge hole right here and a gas tank right here. Steve, what's on tap for this week?
Well, you know, we cleared out that ugly, stinky gas tank out of the cab, left ourselves with some open space. We may be gonna put a speaker box or something in there someday, but right now, we got this new gas tank we're gonna stick under the bed, and the first item of order is to make sure that this sending unit is set up properly, because this is a universal.
Now there's a method to do that.
Yeah, there is. And it's not that tricky. What you want to do is you want to get your depth on your tank initially. So we're at 12 inches from the mounting flange to the bottom. And what you're going to want to do is split the difference between your mounting surface and your tank sending unit pivot. So what we've done is set this up at 6 inches here so that when we drop it in the tank, we're going to get this float going through the whole motion. Then the next thing is we've got a long rod here on the float. So what you don't want to do is have your float way out here and it's coming like this and it's not really floating through the whole travel of the rheostat that's mounted to the bottom.
Right, your fuel gauge would be wrong.
Right. So the next thing you want to do is just find where your float rides the best. And the way I like to do that is kind of mock it up like this and then slide your shaft kind of up into here until you get to a point where you're resting on your bottom here and you can tell that the float's going to be hitting the bottom of the tank.
Great.
And so obviously we've got it sideways. Your float's actually going to sit in here like this, but you can tell it's going to be flush with the bottom of the tank. And when it rises to the top, it's going to hit that top stopper and be here. Then you're going to mark your shaft, tighten your rod, and then last thing we need to do is I'm going to walk over to the table, chop this off, put a little bend in here so it won't slide out ever. We'll drop it in the tank, and then we'll get the tank inserted into the frame.
Let's do it.
All right.
Steve, this looks like the easy part. Why don't you tell us the steps involved?
All right, well, we're gonna jack this thing up into the frame to begin with. And then once we got it in here, we're gonna square it with this rear cross sill, make sure the gas tank's in there square.
All right.
All right, now that it's in there, we're gonna clamp it in place. Take one of these, sort of eyeball where that's gonna go, where you want your 3 holes. And then basically, we're gonna clamp that right there. And the next step is gonna be to mark those holes. We're gonna go ahead and drill them right through the support brace that we just clamped in there. Then we'll drop the gas tank back out, put that support brace on top, run the bolts up through. The gas tank will be in, then it's just a matter of running our peripheral bits like your fuel line.
Yeah, that's a lot better than in the cab. Speaking of the cab, join us next week. Project 18-8 is moving to the interior.